Welcome to Teed Off Dad, episode 13, where I tried to juggle doing a day job, family life, and actually I am failing at getting better at golf. And am I failing? Yeah, I am failing at getting better because I'm kind of plateauing. The 100 to 105, I think if you look at near enough 8 out of my last 10 rounds, they've been in that bracket. But that's for another thing. And episode 13, I realised, well, actually I got one of them Instagram things come up the other day that says, on this day last year. So we are now officially into year 2 of Teed Off Dad. So 12 episodes worked out, one a month, and 12 months of me gabbling on. So if you're still enjoying it, please send us a message or let me know. I'll be interested if there's anything you actually hate or would like to listen to, or you want to hear more of, less of. Just let me know, get involved. I am not overly personal. If I get a lot of people talk about stuff they don't like, it is what it is. We shall try and do what the people want. So without further ado, let's get waffling. So first things first, I would like to get a health update out the way. Now, I've had a couple of injections a few months back to try and, I think it's deaden the nerve, which causes the problems I have in my lower back and my right leg, which also leads to cramps at night, muscle twitches in me. What are they at the front of the quadriceps, aren't they? Hamstrings at the back, quadriceps at the front. So yeah, I get muscle twitches. I wake up a few times a night with cramp in my lower right leg. So generally, after a bit of walking, I'm really struggling. So I've done physio, I've had injections, I've tried painkillers and that type of thing. So at the minute, I'm in the hands of a consultant. I've had my second injection. This, I think, previous was a partial nerve block. This one I've had probably 4 weeks ago now is, I think, what he calls a full nerve block. Now, I've been advised it could take up to 8 weeks to work properly. So I keep saying so. That's one thing I do need to figure out. It's when I'm not prepared or when I'm trying to think off the top of my head, so comes out a lot more. But what I've got to do is give it the time, do my best. Since the last injection, I'm playing golf, although in a cart, because there's no way I'll do 18 walking without just either collapsing halfway round or just wanting to feel like I want to give up. And generally just walking the dog, trying to do it religiously every night. Get either somebody else in the house to do something in the day, but every night just go on a walk. The physio's advised do enough that I get to the point where I feel comfortable doing it. So work out a loop where it's not really debilitating to do it. Find that comfort, and if it gets easier, start progressing and doing a bit longer. So that's what I'm on at the minute. I've got to get the little daft dog to stop barking as he goes out the door. Sometimes it's been after 9 o'clock and he has probably 150 metres of barking. It's like he's never seen daylight before. Runs straight out the door, bark, 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 scream, scream, part way down the road, chills out, and then we just have a nice walk. And it's that where I just need to take it easy. So in general, I don't know if it's worked or not. I'm still getting the feeling, still getting the cramps, but I'm going to give it time. I'm doing the walking and I'm trying to do bits of exercises as well to help. So fingers crossed, 3 or 4 more weeks and I'll be able to back walking 18 holes of golf. And I think my bank balance will appreciate that as well. Now, as I think I alluded to, I played quite a bit of golf in July. A few rounds. I've been in the simulator. Went on holiday for a week. Now, the eldest daughter went to India with girl guiding. She's 17. So she went out with, I think there was 21 of them went out there. 5 leaders, I think 16. Anywhere between 15 and 18. The girl guides and rangers that went with. So she went to India for 2 weeks. Because of that, the wife and I decided we weren't going to do a European or an abroad holiday this year. So we did a static caravan holiday near Aberystwyth in West Wales. Now, Wales is a beautiful place. The scenery, the hills, the beaches. You get decent weather in Wales, and it is a beautiful and really nice place to go. Add it to the fact that you've got a heap of fantastic golf courses. I think Wales and Welsh golf doesn't sell itself. You know, people talk about golf and there's always the big thing of we're going to Ireland or we go to Scotland for golf. But having played 4 or 5 courses now, I think the variety and, you know, style of courses and views and everything, that I think they're up there with the best. And so you look at, I live near Derby in the middle of England, so any course I play on, views wise, only the ones when we get up towards the Peak District or some of the lower lying where you can see for miles. But you go to Wales and you've got beaches, you've got shorelines, you've got mountains in the background. It's just generally more picturesque than your average course in England or in central England, the landlocked sections. So went over to Aberystwyth. This time I went to Scotland a few years ago. Didn't take the golf clubs, so I played a course up there. Really nice course up there. Views for miles, beaches, that kind of thing. And I thought we'll do it again, but this time only one of the daughters. There was more space in the car for luggage, so I took my golf clubs with us. The plan again, I didn't need to take the trolley because I was planning on buggying. My plan was ideally get 2 rounds in. The wife was more than happy, take the youngest with me. I play golf, the youngest comes with me. We have a kind of a dad-daughter time, have a bit of a laugh, bit of not that we really need bonding, but you know, a bit of time together. And then the wife can just sit down, relax, maybe go in the hot tub or just read a book. You know, generally use really what, when you're like myself heading towards 50, holidays are for. So looked around, there was 3 courses near Aberystwyth that I was interested in. I got told that a course at Aberdyfi was meant to be really nice and was recommended, but when I looked at £120 a round, no, that's not for me. The other one that I looked at was Borth. I can't really pronounce the other the other part because I'm English and we are inherently bad at learning other languages. I think generally it sometimes makes me a little bit embarrassed. Most people in the real world talk their own language and English, yet I know I speak for myself, at times I feel a little bit rude that I only really know English. I can get by with a bit of French and I know words in German and Spanish, but generally I can't hold a conversation in anything but English. So, but really there was a competition. I think there was was it the juniors competition at Borth, so I chose Aberystwyth. Now, I chose right because that course, I kind of think it's a hidden gem. I don't think people talk about it enough. Drove down the access road in. It's a single track, kind of wind up, go past a few houses, and you go into a bit of woodland and some trees. Now, I'd say it's an old school golf course. You know, it's not posh and modern. It's down to earth. There's parking there. You've got the greenkeeper's hut. I was a little bit surprised when I walked in the pro shop that the pro was sat behind the desk. A young lad was joining. Now, I don't know what I was expecting, but I didn't expect an old style desk with drawers as his kind of like till, as his work area. But it kind of shows. I think it's one of those, because they don't get a massive amount of footfall, they only stock the essentials in the club shop. So if you're wanting clubs and loads of stuff like that, I think you'd have to go elsewhere. But generally, as a simple club, shop, you can buy balls, you can buy t-shirts with the Aberystwyth branding. But generally, you should be turning up to golf prepped anyway. You don't really want to be buying a load of stuff when you turn up. So I went in, spoke to him. He was ready with the key for the buggy. Jumped in the buggy. I was a little bit nervous because the 15-year-old daughter, I was planning on her driving. So I drove off initially because the first hole tees off down the side of the clubhouse. So I dropped down, knocked a few in the nets, utilised the putting green, so on. Drove down. I'd asked beforehand, but I don't think there was many on there. I think the club pro referred to it as millionaire golf because you'd near enough got the course to yourself. So I think on that day, as we drove round, I think there was 6 people. It was a Wednesday, really warm, sunny Wednesday, and there were 6 of us on the course. So a bit iffy teeing off, didn't really connect, but we've had, feels like months of hot weather, heat wave after heat wave, and the rainfall's been very minimal. So unless you're a course like a JCB or one of the where money's no object, the fairways are going to be parched, they're going to be dry, and the ball's going to bounce. So even if you top it, decent power swing, top it, you're still getting 100 odd yards when it's rolling. So we're going on. But the one amazing thing I did find with the youngest is she's such a cheerleader. Like, I top one down the fairway, and she looks at me and looks and goes, "Well, that's all right." And it's just, that point where you'd think, "Oh God, I've topped it. What am I going to do?" Rant, angry. But she was just like, "That's not that bad, is it? Why are you whinging?" So really, yeah, she did me a good turn, in fairness. Started off a little bit ropey, then I just managed to play really some proper golf. A couple of things that came out of that round. I think the big one, which for me recently has been a killer of my score, is I didn't lose a ball. Now I think that was an achievement for me, but didn't lose a ball. So that instantly, you're on a winner. You're not wasting at least 2, 3, 4 shots by doing it. So yeah, it starts with a 430 yard uphill par 4. So went 100 yards, then hit another good cracking couple of shots onto the green, and just generally, as I said, played some nice golf. So actually I parred the first, couple of good shots, bogeyed the second, parred the third, bogeyed the fourth, doubled the 5th, parred the 6th, doubled the 7th, 8th and 9th, but 45 I went out in, which, yeah, anything below 50 I'm pleased with. Had a bit of a wobble. I had 7, 7, 7, 10, 11, 12. Then I was bogey, par on the par 5, 15th, which there's a big pond before the green. So I went a bit right into the rough and just played sensible golf as well, which for me isn't normally. Then parred the par 3, 16. And then a little bit disappointed. The 17th and 18th, or the 16th, 17th and 18th are behind the clubhouse. So you're up on the top. You look down again, all you see is the Irish Sea or the Bay of Cardigan with Ireland in the distance. Caught a cracking drive. I think 17 is like an up and over. The highest point of the hole is the middle of the fairway. So you drive up, you're aiming for the black and white post in the middle, and then it goes down towards the green. Now I went a bit left, ended up probably 200 and I don't know, I can't remember how far, but I was only 20 yards away from the green. Duffed the first chip, so 2, chipped onto 3, 2 putts 5, so a bogey 5, and then the last one is quite a tricky par 3. You come down the side of the clubhouse, so you tee off from high, the green's low, and it's a nice little windy walkway or cart path down from the tee box to the green, and then you're done. So 45, 47, 92. I'm walking away, chuffed to bits, not lost a ball, played some really good golf. And again, there's a few things, like I've got 38 putts. I hit, what was it? Looking at the stats on 18 birdies, 46% of fairways, only 22% of greens and 38 putts. So I know there's things I've got to work on, but generally I enjoyed it. The buggy took some time for her to get used to the steering, and she likes to straighten the wheels up, or thinks she's straightening the wheels up before leaving, and at a few moments the wheels weren't straight and you veer off in a tangent to start with pretty quickly. And her favourite comment was, how come it speeds up when the steering wheel's turned, which is quite worrying really, that in a straight line she ends up going faster than round a bend she ends up going faster than straight lines. But generally really good, really fun. We had a laugh. She was definite little cheerleader, spurred me on, played some really good golf, and I asked her at the end, are we doing it again? And she's like, yes, definitely Dad, let's go. So we then booked for the Friday morning. Same again. I spoke to the chap in the club shop. He was like, yeah, there's not many booked in for Friday morning, so whenever you want to book. Now I think Aberystwyth, they're trying to go cashless. Now we did have a bit of a chat, just trying to, just chewing the fat, whatever, just about it, and apparently whoever they're banking with, it's as cheap to do it cashless than it is cash. But then there's an offer on at the minute that there's £10 off if you book online, and that was really that. And you can book the buggy, which I do like a lot actually. If you can book the round of golf and a buggy, then at least if you need a buggy like myself at the moment, you've booked one and you're ready to go. So yeah, really couldn't recommend the place enough. The greens were really nice, green, plenty of water there. The fairways again parched. I think they'd be in trouble, like with most golf courses, the amount of water needed, it wouldn't go down very well. But generally there's a lot of blind tee shots where you're hitting up a hill, across a hill, trying to hit over a hill. Challenging. The rough is penalising at times. If you're in there, there's a few trees, but generally I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's because I played well, but yeah, really enjoyed it. Went out again on the Friday, so off the yellows again, par 70, just over 5,800 yards. This time the front nine I had a bit of a wobble. The first hole I scuffed a few shots and just didn't go to plan. I was not ideal. I 3-putted the first, so it started off not the greatest I've ever played. Then when we got to number 2, there was probably a lad in his mid-30s. He was playing golf, and it looked like his mum was out with him, just going for a walk. He said, "Oh yeah, you play through. I've just lost a ball. I've been looking for it, so you play on, and yeah, you'll be quicker because you got the buggy." So of course, mentally, I go into a world of I don't know what I go into, but him and his mum are stood there at the side of the tee box, and I try and overhit it. I don't know if I'm trying to show off or whatever, and it goes right straight out of bounds. Then it's kind of like, do I need to speak to them? Do I need to whatever? So just get into, wind it back, take some off the swing, and middle of the fairway. So 3 off the tee, and just from there it kind of went downhill. Didn't enjoy. So I've had a 3 over, 5 over start. Granted, the second is the hardest hole on the course, but still. Then number 3 comes along, and I do well. I'm thinking to myself, right, I'm good here. I can play golf, just lose it. Lose what the messing about was, and then I par the 4th. Second easiest hole, par it. And I think, right, I'm back on. The bit of a wobble's gone. No. I have another hiccup on the 4th. Fling 3 balls out of bounds. So at that point I end up with a 10, and then double, bogey, double, bogey. So this time 57. So I've sort of 57 with a par, 2 bogeys, and the rest doubles or worse. But my little cheerleader keeps me going. She's on my side. If I hit a good shot, she seems to know and tells me, so all good. And then I start a bit of a run. So I'm a 6, so a bogey on the par 5, a double on the next par 5, then a double on the par 4, then bogey on the par 3, I had a par putt there, bogey on the par 4 14th again, I had a par putt, the 14th end up with a bogey, but I missed the birdie putt and 3-putted. 15th I do alright there, 2 putts, bogey. 16th again, bogey. Then finish off with a flurry, par 4 and the par 3, last 2 holes. So out in 57, back in 45. So fortunately the last 6 holes, 5-6 holes, have perked me up and my head's in a good place. But as I said, when we went on the holiday to Llandudno, I think I was 102, 105, 102, and then Aberystwyth I've hit 92 and 102. But I know if I can get rid of a few 3-putts, a few duff chips, and keep the ball in play, I think early 90s is achievable. Now I don't know if it's a fitness thing, Is it a mental thing? Is it concentration? Do I just have a wobble? Do I just start scuffing? But generally, I'm stood on the top of the golf course looking around. The views are fantastic, blue skies, the greens are green, the sea's blue, and I'm playing golf with my daughter. I'm happy as Larry. Good times. So, just as an aside, second time round, the buggy, again, every buggy's different. So this one is a little bit different. She asked me to film her driving it. She's got the hang of it this time. It's a little bit different. There's a few moments. I think there was 2 moments that I remember. Number 1, and it was more a little bit of nervousness and a bit of a shape of the hole, but with it being a hilly course, she turned round at one point, and as a big man, there's a lot of weight on my side compared to my daughter. So as she went round like a left-hand turn, I was then facing downhill. She went a little bit quick, and I did fear a little bit that I was going over. I did have to kind of lean over to her, near enough grab the handle on the side in a little bit of a panic, but we were all good. Everything happened. The club stayed on, we stayed on, got back going. She stopped, had a breather. I got over my panic and we carried on. And then a couple of holes later, I jump out, play my shot. She pulls up alongside the green, where it's safe to do so. Obviously, I've already told her about stay away from the really green stuff and follow the path marks that they give you on your buggy. A couple of sheets telling you where the ideal places are to go for the carts. So I'm about to jump in. I've got one leg in, one leg out, and she didn't realise, pulls off, and basically the handle of the seat splits my bum cheeks, and I nearly go all over the shop. She realised, put the brakes on, I jumped on the seat, and so apart from them 2 moments, just really good. Little, as I've said, my little cheerleader. She enjoyed it, I enjoyed it, and the wife got some peace and quiet to read a book and go in the hot tub. So win-win-win. I know the daughter enjoyed driving the buggy, because we get back to the caravan park again. We've only, I think I've looked at it, what was it, both rounds, 18 holes in less than 3 hours. I know you're on your own, there's nobody else on the course, but I told the wife we're going to be 4 to 5. But yeah, we were back a little bit early, but no worries. So the first thing, Ruby, my youngest, back in the caravan, and she's like, Mum, can I buy a golf trolley or a golf buggy? And then we had the discussion that she thinks it'd be cool to drive it to school, park it up. You know, if she wants to go around to my mate, she can just jump into the golf buggy. Apparently I can use it when I want to go and play golf. And I was a little bit, well, actually we need a trailer if that's... But generally she's got a newfound fondness of driving golf buggies, which is good for me because I get a little companion now for future rounds. If she's not busy and I'm playing and we go in the buggy, then yeah, I've got my little companion cheerleader with me. But I think the bit I probably missed a little bit earlier is I did have to really laugh, because we're both from the Midlands. Our next door neighbours have the Birmingham twang, so more often than not the kids, when they spend time with the neighbours, end up with a little bit of, you can tell who they've been talking to, or you know, to get that bit of the Brummie twang. But I hit one of my shots at Aberystwyth. I look at it, I'm following the ball, I'm pretty pretty chuffed. I've picked my target, I've connected, and the ball's gone where I wanted to, so can't really say much more than that in golf. I turn round and the daughter just looks at me and goes, "Ooh, that were good," as if there's a Yorkshireman just appeared from nowhere, taking over her body, and just starts talking at me with a Yorkshire twang. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard her saying it with a Yorkshire accent, but until that day. A little bit out of sync, but I've just remembered this. Before we went away, because where the eldest went, there was a pool at the first hotel she was staying in, or the first complex. It was a girl guiding complex. So she asked about going swimming. I said, "Yep, I'll take you." It was I think it was the night of the England-Argentina World Cup semi-final. I like football, but at the minute I'm falling out of love a bit with football. There's just so much rubbish going on, so much diving, play acting. No idea what's happening with the wrestling in the box for free kicks and penalties. It just doesn't make sense. Now, for us, the two leisure centres near us are run by the same company. So at that point, you have to go on, and so half an hour took me to go on to register, sort it all out, get the access code that they send on email, all that rubbish. Then I finally found a time for that evening. We'll go for an hour's family swim, because we didn't really want to be doing lane swimming, because my daughter just wanted to get back in the water, do as little or as much swimming as she wanted, and not be kind of restricted into going up and down for that time. I decided, I say, right, we'll miss the first part of the football, say the first half. You're not going to win or lose a football game in the first half. We go, pull in the car park, walk up, find where we've got to go up to reception. At the time, the lady's on the phone, so she's not on the phone. She's got somebody with her talking about lessons and what have you. So we wait patiently, probably 5-6 minutes. We're stood there waiting. This other lady and her daughter finish, and then it's our turn. So I speak to her and just say, right, never been here before. What's the protocol? Do I have to sign in? I'm booked online, blah, blah, blah. She looks at me and she says, "I think you've made a mistake." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She said, "You've booked the family swim, but in the baby pool or the junior pool." Says, "What do you mean?" She says, "If you look through that window, it's 1 metre deep. That's the pool you've booked in. Now, you're more than happy to go into that pool for an hour, or we can sort something out and I'll put the cost as a credit and you can come again and use the pool normally." And at that point, I just thought, that's typical. Spent all that time trying to book it and I booked the wrong blooming thing. Now, the annoying part is the lady says to me, she says, "Don't worry, you're not the first and you won't be the last to do this." Now, in my eyes, if that's something happening frequently, is there not an issue there? Because I'd class myself as a reasonably educated man. But if I can get it wrong, but if they're not willing to do anything, I know for next time I just have to make sure, double check, and just make sure I'm in the adult pool, not the junior pool. So that's it, the end of episode 13, which 13 always has and probably always will be my lucky number. And it's the start of the year 2 of this podcast. The numbers of listeners, surprisingly, for me, very, I can't think of the word, when you're very negative about yourself. But yeah, we're into the hundreds of listeners, or hundreds of streams or listens. Got a couple of thousand people on, over 2,500 now on TikTok that I am friends with, and coming up to 1,000 on Instagram. So I can't thank you all enough. I can't thank the people that keep listening. I just hope that my daftness hits a chord, or you find something in it that you found interesting. So yeah, thank you. Kind of the start of the show for me this time has been my youngest, as I've said quite a few times when I've listened about being my biggest cheerleader and companion on a few rounds of golf. She'll be back between our Wales holiday and recording this. I've played another 3 rounds of golf, and I've been a passenger princess again, apparently. But thank you for listening. I just give thanks to Clean Feed for being so simple to use for the recording. It's kind of just sign up, click record and go. Riverside is the editing software. It is literally import it. It then gives you word by word what you've said. You can then edit it, get rid of spaces, gaps. So generally, thank you to them. Thank you to Aberystwyth Golf Club for being such a lovely course that I enjoyed. And generally, thank you for listening. And I think through the summer, I'm going to go more than... So the more I do, I might have a few months where I'm a bit quicker. You know, get more than one a month, just to keep you updated with what's going on. And then over winter, that probably don't know whether to have a break or just carry on, because there's always stuff going on. There's always an element of golf to be played. But thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, I can't wait to hear your feedback or questions or anything. If there's anything anybody wants to know, let me know. teedoffdad@gmail.com is the email. Please feel free, or search for teedoffdad on Instagram and TikTok. But for now, look after yourselves, each other, and play well.